Morning, everybody. It is 8:16 a.m., August 7th. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Market did a little craziness on Friday. Basically, I had a trade in Tesla. It was a long, very, very, very small winner. I actually cut the trade. I didn't like when the market went up to the 20-day simple moving average and the 9 EMA on the daily. I was just like, you know what? if if it goes rockets higher, fine. But I wasn't a big fan, and then the market fell apart. Right, couldn't get above those moving averages, and took away all the rally. Right, so that's where we're at, holding those lows. We're still in bearish territory here, structure wise. So without further ado, my name's Steven Gonzalez. Welcome to my channel. Use market profile and volume profile to basically find structure in the market, to be on the right side of trades, using supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, and the most traded price of the rolling week and the rolling month. These are all indicators that will show a structure and keep us on the right side, right? Price action is very tricky, and it very easily can trick you. So welcome, welcome, welcome if you're new today. And as always, subscribe, set an alert if you haven't already. Of course, if you like what you see, give me a nice thumbs up, give me a like, that would be much appreciated. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Gonzo719. Alright, so why don't we get right into the futures? We have lots of stuff going on this week. CPI, more earnings coming. So some reported already this morning. So let's get into this. So what do we have today? We have an elevated VIX. It was down from a nice little rally, but now it's back up 0.7. It's over 17.23, so there's a little fear coming back into the market. Just so everybody knows, a 16 VIX gives about an expected 1% move in the indexes, right? And a 32 VIX is giving, it would be expected 2% move. That's how the VIX works, right? The higher the VIX, the more volatile. Nasdaq's up 0.29, dollar's up 0.21, Bitcoin's up 0.19, ES is up 0.18, the Russell's up 0.14, the Dow is up 0.12. Ether is basically flat but down 0.05. Gold is down 0.39. Bonds being sold again, down 0.69. So 10-year yield will rise a little bit once that comes out at 820, which it already has, and it has. It is up 1.26%. It's at 4.10. Crude, that is down 0.93. Crude's been on a tear a little bit lately, a little pullback, a little correction probably needed. Silver's down 1.02%. That's the volatile metal. All right, let's go over to the stocks I like to day trade. All right, what do we have? Baba's up 0.8 pre-market. They report earnings this week. All right, so that's on watch. Nvidia's up 0.63. They report the 23rd. Snow's up 0.61. Okay, let's go to any laggards, right? Really only laggard on the screen that I trade is coin. Coin's been hit pretty hard. Down 0.37 pre-market. Let's see here. All right, let's move on. Top sector stocks, right? Disney reports this week. They are up 0.43. Roblox reports this week. They are up 0.35. Morgan Stanley is up 0.3. Any laggards? There's only one. Procter & Gamble is only down 0.06. That's not much of a laggard, right? not much of a laggard. UPS reports earnings this week. Okay, Teamsters and them are working at that strike. I'm working at that strike, working at that deal. Most likely will go through. That's what I'm hearing. I don't think they're going to go back. I mean, that would be catastrophic if they go on strike and they don't reach a deal. So they should reach a deal, but their earnings is report earnings this week. Now Walmart, they report earnings. Oh, not yet. I was gonna say they don't report them this week. So it's just Disney, Roblox, UPS, Baba that I care about for this week. Okay, let's go to sectors. So, oh, all right, sectors. Well, semis leading the pack on Nvidia, right? Communications, Meta, financials, right? Not huge, but they're up. Laggard utilities. Utilities actually dropped off a little bit. I have a position in NEE, and I will probably look to add to that. So utilities took a hit. Um, that's it for that. Now we can get into some market news. All right, we got economic calendar coming up this week. So let's get into that. Let me pull up this right menu here because this is not what I wanted to show you guys. We'll go right into the economic calendar for the week. We had a lot of Fed speak already. Just give me one sec here. All right, getting to some news. All right, we can look at earnings this week. I mean, there's not. Let's just take this off for a sec here. So today Tyson reported, I believe that they are taking down some chicken plants or something like that. I saw Berkshire Hathaway um, reports. What else? After the close, Palantir, Lucid, Skyworks, Chegg, Paramount, Ring Central, Beyond Meat. Right. Tuesday, big one, UPS, Lilly, Datadog, Barrick, Gold. Okay, that's pre-market. Kronos, Novavax. After the close, so you got some Rivian, AMC. So the meme stock AMC, Upstart, Supermicro, Twilio, Marathon. Right now Wednesday, you have Roblox, Sony, Penn, Wendy's. Okay, Wednesday, after the close that day, you have Disney, Plug, Trade Desk, Win. So some decent earnings this week, right? And then Thursday, I'll be obviously interested in Baba's earnings. Let's say U.S. Foods, Ralph Lauren, Yeti, Six Flags. After the close, you have nothing really that I'd be paying attention to. Friday before the open, Air Canada. Yeah, that's about it. So that's what we have on tap. So Palantir, basically Lucid, Paramount after the close today, Beyond Meat. Let's go to our calendar. There was a bunch of Feds speaking already. Okay, they were making some waves about cutting next year, higher rates. Like two different Feds were talking at both sides. So, all right. So, so today we just had some Fed speak. Tuesday, not much to talk about. Wednesday, not much to talk about. Thursday, you have CPI and initial jobless claims and a Fed speak. Okay. Friday's PPI, and then Michigan consumer sentiment at 10. Let's just make sure here today that we don't have any kind of not really. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something that I wasn't saying. There's really not. So CPI. Now CPI, we talked about it. Oil's been on a tear as of late. So they actually are looking at. Let's look at this week. It's changed this week. So if we go to, let's go to this on Friday, right? You could see, let's go to CPI, which would be Thursday. Okay. So the year over year number, right? So the forecast, consensus is 4.7, they're forecasting 4.8. Previous is 4.8, right? Um, but then the inflation rate month over month, right? Core inflation, 4.8, previous 4.8. So I did see an uptick. I don't know why I'm not seeing that here. Maybe that's not here. That was something else I saw on the news that they're expecting an uptick in the headline CPI just because of oil. I've been talking about this on my channel, so whoever's been listening, I've been talking about how oil could cause an uptick in headline CPI over the next couple months because it's just been went up so much. Gas has gone up. That's not going to raise core, right? So that's what we have on tap. Let's go back to there. All right. Just some upgrades and downgrades. We got 40net got slammed. I mean, that lost weeks and weeks and weeks of progress, but it just got upgraded, obviously because it probably got it's at a valuable price now. Um, American Airlines got an up. No, I'm sorry. I can't even read my own handwriting here. Wayfair got an upgrade. American Airlines got a downgrade. Southwest Airlines got a downgrade. Let me look at this real quick, just so I don't want to mislead you guys. Let's go with upgrades. Upgrades. Okay, that's what I wrote. United Airlines got an upgrade from neutral to buy. Interesting, right? You have uh, United Airlines got an upgrade, and then you had two other airlines got downgrades, right? So you got downgrades here in American Airlines and Southwest and Cloudflare. So that's that. That's that news on that front, right? We can go right over to the dailies, daily charts. And let's look at this chart, right? Our good old daily charts. We'll zoom in here. Okay. So they got a smackdown on Friday. So Friday opened here, came down, right? Got bought up all the way to here. I was like, wow, this market is crazy resilient. But I was like, this is going in this web of moving averages going back into this range, right? Tested it, 452, and then sold off hard. Now, why? Apple, I told everybody to watch the 185 level, right? Apple was playing around that 185 level. Huge negative gamma level. And once that broke 185, the market fell apart. Remember, market weighted. Apple's the largest market weighted stock in the S&P. So Apple goes, so goes the market. Okay, so 185. I was looking at that all day, and I'm like, man, it's playing around with that level. That's why I was watching that level, even though I was in a long on Tesla, and Tesla made a nice run. And then I was like, you know what, this is not, I needed to log into work, and I was like, you know what, this is just, let me just take a small win. And next thing you know, I saw the market fell apart, right? So, and obviously, what do we do? We came into a little bit of a gap, okay, at this low here. So where are we at now? We're at 447.65. So we're here. We're right here. We're at the lows. It's bearish. Okay. Now there's a trend line I want to show you guys in the futures. I forgot to show you. All right, I will show you that. Um, Weeklies. Let's look at our weekly. So obviously, look at that. Taking 2 weeks out. We took two of the last weeks out with one candle last week. Okay. Pretty bearish candle, right? If you look at it on a weekly. Okay. Monthlies, obviously, that's last month. We're already past the midpoint of the last month. So taking back a lot of the gains in July. Okay, here's our profile. Most trader prices here, prices here. We still have a lot of volume up here. Okay. So if we're looking at our weeks and months in the one chart that I showed you with my levels here. So that was last week's, the prior week's high and lows, right? This is the week before's lows. So we, like I just said, we broke the last 2 weeks, which is right here and here, right? Now what do we have next? Well, this is July's monthly highs right here. This white line, that's the monthly highs. So are we going to come down and touch that? That's around 444. That's the next touch, could be, right? The next touch could be that. All right, let's move on. Let's go to the Qs. Let's zoom. Let's zoom in a little more here. Let's get that. Okay. All right, so the Qs, same thing, right? Came right into the 20-day simple moving average and then the 8 EMA daily. Sold off. Boom. Now, this kind of came down and closed right close to the lows of the prior day. All right, where's the Qs now? 374.40, 373.40. So like here, almost at the mid of Friday's session. Okay, this is still bearish though. Okay, 50-day moving average is way down here at 366. All right, now full transparency, I put a trade on at the lows, I think close to when the Qs were at the lows, targeting 360. This is basically like the swing low of here, right? And I put what's called on a put ratio, right? A put ratio, but I made it a broken wing butterfly. I know this is an advanced spread, but basically what I'm expecting is I'm at 360. That's where I sold my puts, okay? And I bought puts. What did I buy puts at? I don't even remember. Anyway, I'm going to collect credit just so I don't want to confuse anybody, but I'm collecting credit. I think I'm collecting 40 something cents a spread. I put 4 of them on. I think it's over 170 bucks. Okay, and the way that works, just so you understand, so this is a broken wing butterfly. The way that works is I'll get the credit if the market never comes down to this area. This is the beauty of these spreads, okay? The market never comes down here. I get paid the 170 bucks to credit for just putting it on, right? If by Friday the market is down here at 360, I could make, I think, $600. I know. When I first heard about these spreads, I was like, what? So I can make more money. So why did I do that, right? So the 50 days here, I expect to bounce here on the 50. I expect to get slowed down here. There's a lot of volume here. Okay. So I just bought a little more insurance. I went lower to 360. Okay. And I'm actually covered to about 358. I still make money at 358 on Friday. Again, if it doesn't touch it, I pocket $170. Very cool trade. Very cool broken wing butterfly put ratio. They're just very powerful. They work off TA. So that's enough of that. I just wanted to add that. All right. That I put that on. All right. So moving on. Let's go over to the weeklies. We're going to see the same kind of story. Took out the last 2 weeks. Right, 10-week EMA, very important right here. You're going to see, I might go over that in sectors. This 10-week EMA is very important to tell you what side of the trade you want to be on. Monthlies. Now, you notice this. The NASDAQ, look at that. This is the midpoint of last month. We're past that. We're almost at the open where we opened last month. So it's pretty significant drawdown, right? And the Q's right bottom most traded price 376. Okay, so broke last week's lows, broke the prior weeks like we talked about. Now we're at a prior week's highs here. Okay, and then we have so this is one thing to note here. Look, that's last week's highs. That's month's highs, the white right here. So we're below that already, 372. So I think I just said that right. There we go. This month. This month's highs. You see that? This month's highs. We're right there. This is the month of June. So very, very interesting. Move on. Let's go to the Dow. Okay, broke out of this big consolidation. Now we're starting to, now you can see the Dow is stronger because they're still holding the 20-day simple moving average, okay? Here's weeklies. So see, we only took out the prior weeks. Dow had a big move, so it's not as weak, right? Took out the last week's. And the monthlies, see, we're not even at the midpoint, almost at the midpoint of last month. Profile, still pretty strong. Okay, now you broke the prior week's low, right? Broke the prior week's low. However, this right here is the highs of the prior month, right there. We're not even close to it. So let's see if the Dow, because you got this support level right here, 350s. Let's see if that can break that or not. All right, let's move on to the Russell, who's been teasing me every day. Now the Russell hasn't really broke any structure. Okay, here's this range. This is where I was like, great, Russell's gonna go, and then it didn't, right? This is a fake out right here. Boop, nope, gap down, went down out of this range again, bought up, right? Went all the way up here into the middle range. I'm like, yes, like with that rally on Friday, I was like, this is the move, right? Close right at the lows. It's like it's staying in this range. As long as it stays in the range, it's bullish. This is where I wish I had a little more time on my spread. Okay. I regret now not selling verticals up in here, like maybe right in here. I could have turn my spread into a butterfly, so I would have collected some credit, but that's okay. We're still holding now. Where is it now? 194.75. So it's 194.75. It's right here. It's right about the midpoint. So I don't know. See what the small caps are going to do, right? It's holding the 20-day simple moving average. So it's the better look out of all the indexes, really. The Russell's holding this range. And you can see this weeklies, this resistance here. And now look at the weeklies, right? You went up, holding it, right? Now look at the other times you went up. You went up, the next week you sold off. See that? This is the only time, like you went up, you held it, tried, and then boom, right? So let's see what the Russell can do here. Is it going to do the same fate as it did before? You have to find out, right? Here's the monthlies, pretty much in last month's. A little above the mid. Like I said, it's a little stronger. But see, this is bullish still. See how the Russell is holding this level? All the other indexes have not held the level. This is still holding this level. We have to see, right? This is very bullish in structure if it gets defended. All right, let's look at the 10-year triple-headed monster. So we had a dump in yields. People really bought bonds on Friday, hence the big move down in yields. So look at that. The people are buying. Bonds are catching a bid, and the yields just went down. You see this? So there's some buying happening right now. If this continues, you can see a move down in yields. Okay, bonds are at a really low area. And be honest with you, full transparency, I did buy TLT, and this is more of an investment for the future. So if we just look at TLT real quick, and we look at the weeklies, okay, look at this, where we're at here. I mean, this is like, we haven't been down here. And let's go to the monthlies just to show you. I mean, look at this. We haven't been here in a long time, and you have support here in the monthlies here that we hit, and see how we pushed off of it. So this is a tale of two things here, because a lot of people think the bonds are going to get sold off, and then there's other people who think there's going to be a bond rally. So interesting to see what happens with that. All right, so why don't we go back here, back to we already looked at the 10-year. Let's look at the VIX. The VIX is livened up. Finally, is livened up a little bit. We're now above 16. I said let's break 15. Let's hold 16. Well, we're holding 16. Now we have a triple top here. So let's put this on the radar here. So 1736. That's our new resistance level here. Okay, so that level's the level to look at now. 1736. Let's see, 1736. So we'll replace this alert to 1736. Okay, I'll get alerted for that. Now let's look at the dollar. The dollar went all the way down here, went all the way back up, and now it's kind of pulling back. Let's see what the dollar is going to do. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move on. Go to my favorite tool, the market profile, the volume profile. My favorite. Okay. It's my favorite. Okay. And we'll look at what the market's doing, right? Go through the same steps that I always look at. Very repetitive steps, very good steps to keep yourself on the right side, okay? Now, as far as real-time trading hours, I expect the most traded price of the week, which is still up in the 146.04 area up here. I expect this to be moved down today if we stay down here. That is going to move, and that's going to be bearish. Okay? That is going to be bearish. So we know that. A lot of volumes being built out here. We're holding these lows, which is structurally bearish. Okay, and the market tried to go higher, and what happened? It got smacked. So bears are in control of this move right now. Doesn't mean we can't go higher. It's just showing you right now that there is some sellers now. Usually that rally gets sustained in the past. Okay, it didn't. Okay, so it didn't. Let's look at this profile, right? The rolling weeks profile. A lot of excess at the top. You have some excess a little bit at the bottom, right? But it's more skewed to a bearish imbalance. Okay, a total, you know, profile would be like that, more of like a bell curve. Okay, so we're still below the big levels. Bearish, holding the lows. Bearish. Most likely, this will move lower. The most traded price of the week will move lower. It will move down here. Okay. Now, let's look at our structure. So, a big rally on Friday. So, we went all the way up here. Friday's high, Friday's low. Now, where did we go? We actually went and touched a gap from the past. This is a gap. So, I already adjusted it. The gap was like here. So, it filled a little bit of the gap. So, I adjust it. Okay. So, it touched into this gap on Friday. Okay. Now, this is very key now. Okay. So, we have our high, Friday highs, Friday has lows, overnight highs, overnight lows. Now, what are we doing? Here was prices close. We're still in this area. That's bearish. Okay. That's bearish. Structurally, it's bearish. Okay. We did create demand here. Now, one important thing to note here, we have a balanced profile. That doesn't give us a lot of edge, okay? But here's the key. Here's the key, okay? We are 100% net long. There's no short activity since the open. You have excess here, right? So we went down here and we closed here. So you have some longs here and here that haven't really been hurt at all. Price is here. Now, what you know might want to see here is a little run up here, and if this falls, if this fails, you could see that. Okay, because this liquidity is gonna liquidate. Okay, and who knows what happens? Do we fall down to here and go back and fill that gap? Okay, that's what I'm really seeing here in the grand scheme of things right now. Okay, so let's just get into some scenarios here. All right, so let's just go over a bullish scenario. Okay, I just talked about what might happen because the overnight inventory is 100% net long, right? So let's just say that happens. I'm going to use this as my bullish scenario. So let's just say it happens, it rolls over, but guess what? We come in here into this demand. Either now, two things can happen here. This is still part of the bullish, right? We fill the gap, let's say, hit this demand, but then we get bought up and start making higher lows. Guess what? We just got told we can't go lower, and then we're gonna move back. Right? This is 50% of the range of Friday. We can move back. Okay. This is again a scenario. Also, we could just clearly come into demand and do this too. Right? You don't have to go down, but this is where I talk about price action. Don't be fooled by it. Because if we just came down, fill the gap, and violently get bought back up, well, you just got told sellers don't have enough strength, and we're going to go back, right? Not saying we go all out bullish. Okay, I'm not saying that. We can probably go right back up to this 9 EMA daily and the most traded price of Friday. Okay. Now, of course, let's talk about the bearish scenario. Okay, we're 100% net long. Okay, overnight. So this is setting up for one or two things here. You know, like I just said, we can open, see a little push up into the midpoint of Friday, start to get some weakness, make some lower highs, and that's we start to roll over. Okay, you're gonna have some little problems in this demand zone, but it's a bear scenario. So take out the overnight low right there, and then you could take out the Friday's lows, and then fill that gap. Go right into the demand and the gap. Okay, that's one. Next one is you can still come up here. Market's gonna rally. Go into monthly view up. There's supply up here, right? Hit these move averages again, and you're gonna roll over. Okay. Those are some of the scenarios that I'm looking at. Okay, now we can move on. We can go right into the NASDAQ. All right, let's look at the NASDAQ. Okay. So NASDAQ, here's our profile. We got a lot of excess at the top, followed by a lot of volume at the bottom. That's a bearish imbalance, okay? Full profile would look something like this. Well, not like that, like this. Okay? So that's skewed to the downside. That's why the structure is bearish right now. Okay, it doesn't mean it has to go down, just that structurally it's bearish. All right, we're holding these lows. Okay. Now, the difference with the Nasdaq is it actually brought the most traded price of the week down here already, so that's bearish. Okay, and that price is like 155. Let's just call it 155. Okay, 15,500. So that's bearish. It already brought it down. Okay, ES has not done that yet. Okay, now we're below the most traded price of the week. We're below the most traded price of the month. All right, that's structurally bearish. Okay, we're below the most traded price of Friday. All right, let's look at where we are in relation to Friday. So there's Friday's lows, which also touched a gap in the Nasdaq. Here's the highs. Okay. Again, Nasdaq's got a very balanced overnight. Here's the overnight high. Here's the overnight low. This is pretty much almost 100% net long as well. Price is here. Same. This is pretty identical to the ES, the way the structure is set up. Okay, we're in, we close down here. We're still here. We're still overall holding these lows in the structure of the market. That's bearish. Okay, that is bearish. We do have a bigger support level though here in the Nasdaq. If you notice this, look at these lows. That has not been broken yet. Even though you had that big move, this bracket is holding this support here. That has yet to be violated. Okay. You are 100% net long. Price is here. Okay. So really, it's the top of this little like kind of bracket and the bottom of the bracket of what's going to happen. Okay. Now, so this would be considered a weak low here. It's just support now. This gap, there's the gap. Here's the 50-day simple moving average as well in the futures. So, if it breaks, expect the test of the 50. And it's the futures 50 moving average is a lot closer than the QQQ ETFs. It's farther away. Okay. So let's get into scenarios here, it's going to be the same thing. So I don't want to, it's going to be the same thing. So like I said, 100% net long. I definitely could see us pushing up, maybe hitting the most traded price of the week, and then roll over a little bit. This is one bullish scenario, okay? Finding some support and demand here, and then we go back into the upper end of that bounce area. Okay, you could also do this, come up, hold this level, and then this is going to be very resistant. Okay, also, like I said, can come down here, break this week low, but like I said, fill the gap, hit the 50-day, go a little below it, recover, higher low, go back into range. That's really the bull trade that's going to get some legs if that happens. Okay, now more of a bear scenario. Okay, earlier what I explained, market can move up, but then it's going to come back down through here, and demand's not going to be easy. And then if we pierce this week, this big support level here at like 15339 right here, that's that week low, bracket low. Also the gap, we could fill the gap, hit the 50, and now I expect to get some kind of support here, and then possibly hit this naked VPOC here at 152. Also can move back up here into supply, monthly VWAP, get some weakness, do the same thing and roll. All right. So that's what I'm looking at as far as the market goes. Just wanted to show you this trend line in the ES. Okay, very powerful trend line. I forgot to show you guys last week. Give me one sec here, and then we'll wrap it up. I'm just going to show you on a 4-hour chart this trend. Okay, it's very, very powerful trend line. And this is the future trend line, okay? So it's 24 hours basically. All right, so this trend line, you can see from here. Look at this. Okay. How many times it hit this? So there's support here, support here, support here. Now look what's going on here. It broke it, fine. But what's it doing now? Is it going to hold it again? You can see that trend line, right? So this is very important, as well as this 4492 level, okay? So you got the confluence of this trend line. So think of this, if the market comes down and breaks this trend line and the support, there's the 50-day moving average. But if it holds it, right, is this just another swing low? Because look, boom, 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 came all the way up here, bounced off it again, and now is this going to be the next bounce? I don't know, right? But I gotta respect that trend line. It's a very powerful one. Okay, you see, I hope everybody sees that trend line. Okay, so we got our plan. Good luck to everybody today. Let's stay patient. Okay, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Set an alert. As always, please give me a like, a thumbs up. That would help. Be much appreciated. And you already have my social media, right? Gonzo719 on Twitter. Okay, so wish everybody good luck today. We got some decent volume. It's August, but the volume is pretty good with this extra volatility. All right, but the VIX is at, the VIX just had a decent big drop off here. With the VIX coming down. Now bonds are being bought even more now. Okay, 10-year yield was up 1 point something percent. It's almost flat now. Unbelievable. This market's unbelievable. All right, so good luck today, and I'll see everybody tomorrow.